Hey everyone, I'm Martin.
And I'm Shelley.
And we're down here in the garden again today. This is the Campfire Trail is the channel. And we're going to talk a little bit about, choosing the road less traveled, which is kind of the way we look at, the pathway or the choice, the lifestyle that we've chosen down here. And I know there's a lot of you out there that dream of the same kind of a thing. And that's what we're going to talk about. Before we get started though, if you could, I would like to have you go down and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Turn the notifications to all. That way you get all of them. And are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're in the middle of a cicada apocalypse right now. And the whole entire forest sounds like it's got its wheel bearings going out. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we've got to kind of talk above the racket of the cicadas.
And what's weird about them is they'll all of a sudden start up, and then when they quit, it's like, I can hear the birds again. I can hear,
Yeah, they'll just randomly quit in the afternoon, and that's it. They're done for the day. And it's like happy hour is over for them or something. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out.
Yeah.
Oh, and you may notice behind us down here, we position the chairs so you can see.
Oh.
We're building up our solar panel rack down here, and the last couple of days we've gotten rained out, but I think we're going to get at it today.
Yeah.
And this is also I guess a little bit of an extension of our 60-year-old homestead journey. Not meaning our homestead is 60 years old, but the people working it is 60 years old plus. So that's us. But this applies, really the things that we talk about really apply to everybody. And honestly, the sooner you're able to get started, whether you're even in your 20s, the better. And it really is. You'll cut a lot of the frustration out of it if you get a long-term plan and start earlier than if you wait till later. There's no question about that. So, what do we have down behind the cabin that we like to go down and walk around and look at? Sorry, we have to turn the video off every now and then. Our garden is up a little bit closer to the road, and a big truck went by pulling a backhoe. So it was pretty noisy. So what have we got down over the hill?
We've got a beautiful waterfall and spring. The spring stays usually longer, but the waterfall only comes when we have lots of rain. And then it trickles. It can be a roaring one, and then it can be like a light trickle that is just so soothing to go down there and listen to it. So most of the time it's going.
Yeah. So we had, when we first got this place, it's been about 2.5 years ago, we've always intended to build a pathway down there. And there is sort of a pathway down there, but it's a little rugged. And so I was down there the other day, and I was looking at the pathway. I thought, this looks like the road less traveled down here. And it is. We don't get down there as often as we probably should just to enjoy the beauty of it. But it got me to thinking a little bit about the journey that we have taken out here on this piece of land. And it's a journey that not a lot of people are willing to take. Now, I know that because we're sort of a homestead off-grid type of a channel, there's a lot of people on here that do decide to take that pathway for themselves. And it's great. It's a great journey. We've been at it now for about two years. We got the place 2.5 years ago, but we've really been down here on the property almost every day for the past 2 years, and working on building roads and clearing and building cabins and putting in a septic system and all of that kind of stuff. And we really have been doing all of this ourselves.
And a lot of it is stuff that we have had to learn along the way.
Yeah.
So don't let that stop you either, because you got to keep going forward even if you don't understand everything. That is one thing that we didn't understand, but we're getting a better grip of it right now.
Yeah, and I still don't completely comprehend all of it, but I take it kind of a step at a time and a day at a time and figure it out as I go and ask questions of the right people that know what they're talking about. And so that's what I want to encourage you. Are you, if you have not already, have you reached the point in your life where you're ready to kind of take that road less traveled, the journey of homesteading, back to the land, self-sufficiency, and all of that. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of reasons why people don't choose this kind of a life. Because there's parts of it that are more difficult and time-consuming. I mean, Last night I was staying up half the night awake thinking about the summer kitchen that we plan to build next after we kind of get this under control. And I'm thinking of all of the cement work that needs to be done there. And, it's a lot. I mean, I know that she has rolled up her sleeves and gotten into this thing. I mean, in a lot of cases, even with more enthusiasm than I have. And certainly been willing to work, and it is work, but the rewards of it are, I mean, what's the rewards? The rewards, we get sort of independence from the
right
power grid. We get,
and I can't tell you, with this garden, I can't tell you how good it feels to go out there and grab some spinach or whatever I need. I mean, my garden is just going really nice, and it's been a while since I've had one, but I like that. And that would be one thing that you would all like too.
Yeah, it's you really get the benefit of having your hands in the things that you do in life. And the garden, I guess we've been married 43 years. About 40 years ago, we were serious into gardening and canning and preserving food and all of that when our kids were small. We had to do it out of self-defense back then. I mean,
44 years, honey.
Oh, that's right. We've been married 44 years.
Don't let him slip up now.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get to be 60-something years old. You can't remember how long you've been on the earth.
But no, I really do think that there's a lot to consider when you do this, because I really have been very much enjoying the woodsy atmosphere. And I mean, you wake up and you hear these birds. Now you hear the bugs, but you hear the birds. And I mean, I look forward to getting up and seeing the sunrise and the sunset, and all the different variety of trees we've got here, the dogwoods, the redbuds, and I just really enjoy the woods. Yeah. It's a blessing. Yeah. It really is.
So if you're thinking you're ready to take your hand at the road less traveled and take the plunge into this kind of a life or this kind of a lifestyle, I'm going to encourage you to do one thing first, and that's really kind of decide what it is that you want to go. What does your pathway need to look like for you? Because it's going to look different for everybody else. I mean, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago we talked about, you got to learn to do it your way. You can't let someone else define your dream for you. You have to define your own dream. And for some people that means one thing, and for others it means something else. For example, for us, that the idea of livestock, even though there's parts of it that I would appreciate and enjoy and like to have on the place here, it doesn't really fit where we're at right now. So we're happy to support the people around us that do that by purchasing produce and goods that they have. So that doesn't fit us, and maybe someday it will, but right now it doesn't. And you've got to make those decisions yourself.
And I'll tell you, there's another thing too, that as you do this lifestyle, you may find something that all of a sudden it will click with you, and you'll go, I want that, or I want to try that. And don't ever be scared to try new things. We came across a freeze dryer, and I never even dreamed of it, and I'm hooked. I can't wait to get one. But we got to.
She's hooked on the idea of it, but I think we'll get hooked on the actual product of it too.
Well, yes, but I think we need to get the kitchen in order first, because it's a big thing. I mean, don't they weigh quite a bit? Yeah,
they take up space. We really don't have a lot of space. That's another thing I guess that I was going to mention too on this video is that, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know how to make this move or how to take the first step in this, and I can tell you that one of the things that we had, and this is either upside or downside, a pro or a con, depending on how you look at it, but when we were raising our kids, and we have 3 kids, and we had we had a house that was probably, about 2,500 square feet, I suppose. And it was full of stuff. I'm talking about the one in Ozark. And,
yeah.
And it was full of stuff. And when we bought our first little cabin and went down to do the work on it, we moved into a little tiny, about 160 square foot camper trailer. And it was just going to be a temporary thing. It was just for the summer while we worked on the cabins. But we discovered while we were in that little camper that it was too small, but it wasn't. We decided that we didn't need the 2,500 square feet. We needed more than the 160, but we didn't need the 2,500. So that was our first kind of step into understanding that it wasn't that painful, it wasn't that painful to downsize. And we found out that during that summertime, there was a lot of things that we just really didn't need that we had sitting up at our house. And that was a reality check to me that, we can really stand to downsize a little bit. We spent so much of our time consumed with maintenance on the house and cleaning the house and just taking care of all of the stuff around the house and the stuff that we had accumulated for years. And we started a downsizing process then, and we were at that downsizing process a little at a time for almost 10 years. And we've got down to where now we're living in a 400 square foot cabin, and that's still small, a little too small, but really everything that we've got is there, and there's nothing that we don't.
I think that the key with the downsizing is organization.
Yeah.
And getting things organized. So, because honestly, I have a closet like that. He has a closet like that, and we do have a entryway that we have a bench, and we've got a hanger where we can put coats and stuff. But honestly, I've learned to utilize storage bins, to put some clothes in and put them underneath the bed. And when I need something, I can just grab it.
Yeah, we rotate from summer to winter clothes now.
I have to.
It's just easier.
Yeah, it is. So it's okay.
Yeah, so if you're thinking that you're the type that can do the road less traveled thing, okay, and go back to the land, there's one thing you have to understand. When you're heading down that road, you don't need to drag all the stuff you've been collecting for 50 years. You just really don't. So if you're looking for a place to start, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I don't know. We are very happy. Yeah. It's, you're always going, you can't kid yourself into believing that it's all rose beds and flowers and rainbows. I mean, it's a much more strenuous life, or it can be at times, but it's a much more peaceful and satisfying one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put in your day's work of whatever you want. You decide what your schedule is most of the time. Yeah. If you think, oh, well, I'm gonna take a break. Yesterday it rained.
We took a nap.
I couldn't believe it. I slept in, and I usually get up and get going in the morning, and I slept in. I must have been really worn out, and I just slept in and did a little bit of things, and I slept some more, and then I went to bed, and it's like, so do as you need to. You'll get used to this lifestyle.
Yeah. So here's your reward if you stuck around to the end of this, is that The Road Less Traveled is actually the last couple of a poem written by Robert Frost, and the poem is called The Road Not Taken. Okay, and so it's a very short little poem. You should go read it and see if you can see yourself or picture yourself in there as you begin to look at possibly a back to the land journey for yourself. The last two lines in that poem, I'm not going to get them exact, but it's pretty much like, and I chose the road less traveled, and that's made all the difference. Think about that, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, bye.
If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.